biggest disappointment through the first 3 games, Jack?
I'm going to go with I don't know if it's necessarily the play of Pettis, based off of everything that we're hearing from you guys, really out at camp. It sounded like he was, really coming on, and he's just been a flop. He's, the only time we see him is on returns now, and that's only because James is hurt. So that's who I'm going.
Yeah.
You took my pick, Jack, but I'm gonna go with the flip side. I think still being a disappointment is Akilla Witherspoon, just because I still had some hope for him, and maybe that's a little bit of the cornerback bias in me somewhat, but because I know if he could just get that confidence, but I just think it's shattered. I think he's done. He doesn't have any faith in his skill at all. I mean, it's not like he played terrible against the Jets or anything like that. I know he gave up that little dummy at the end, but it's just like I just don't see the same guy who I saw those first 3 weeks of last season. It's just maybe that was just a fluke, which is looking like it. This guy is definitely gone. I wouldn't be shocked if they were even considering trading him before Verrett got injured, because I'm sure that's probably what they're even thinking of. Just like, hey, if we can get a 7th round pick for this guy, we'll consider it, because the fact that they immediately said, hey, Verrett's healthy, get him in there, and they just said, Witherspoon, you can go back on the bench, just says a lot, which I'm not too buying into his injury. But, yeah, I think I'm officially on the table that, Witherspoon's done.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Mike McGlinchey. What we see the first 3 weeks. You had Joe Staley your first 2 years, and now you have Trent Williams there to mentor you in your first 3 years. What more do you have to ask for as far as mentorship? And then he's just been getting tossed around like a rag doll. Good thing he has a coach like Shanahan that knows how to not show your weaknesses, and he could get the ball quick out for the quarterback. But it's got to be McGlinchey, because now you just wasted a top 10 pick on a guy who cannot play left tackle. So he's stuck at right tackle, and now you're even questioning his future if he's going to be someone that's going to get a second-year contract.
Those are good answers. I'm not disappointed in Mike McGlinchey because I never thought much of him. I never understood that pick. He always seemed like a right tackle only kind of guy who was going to struggle in pass protection. So, yeah, I mean, D Ford, not disappointed. I never thought he was going to make it through the season. He's hurt again. If you're disappointed that he's hurt, then you don't know D Ford. I guess the guy that I'm disappointed in is Quan Alexander. Although, again, he's just being himself, but he's still really young. He's younger than Reuben Foster. He had a reputation for being an awful tackler in, where was he?
Tampa Bay.
And what they felt was like, well, at least he's always around the action, and he may overrun the play, but he gives other people a chance to make the play, and we can teach him to tackle. I mean, the whole thing with the Pete Carroll coaches and the disciples is that they teach tackling in practice, the rugby technique. They put videos out on it. It's a whole thing. And they're good at it. But for whatever reason, Quan can't learn. And not only that, he makes mental errors every game. Every game, he makes way too much money to be playing like that. And it's like, is he even better than Dre Greenlaw and Azeez Al-Shaair? I mean, he may be more athletic, but he's so undisciplined. He puts the other 10 players on his defense in a bad position. So I would say Quan. And now he was hurt a lot last year. He didn't have an off season to, I guess, improve, but he needs to step it up quick, because right now he's the weakest link. And if you are the weakest link too long, then you have to go. Goodbye. Does anyone remember that game? That show was weak.
It's on again.
Is it on again? Is it the same lady?
No.
She was so mean.
She was so mean.
She was so mean.